is no longer really an opportunity or choice, it's an imperative. To telling the story, how do we make sure that we're taking full advantage of any and all assets that are on the grid and at customer premises.
Welcome everyone to the 2024 season of the EI360 podcast. We are excited to welcome you back with a fresh array of new content, promising lots of really amazing guests this year, compelling content. Today, we at enxchange do what people do at the beginning. We plan and we commit and we become resolute. And joining me today to dive a lot further into that is enxchange CEO David Swank. David, is it time to discuss resolutions, predictions, and what our audience can expect this year?
Well, first, it's just great to be back, Sandy. I know everybody, of course, had a wonderful Christmas and holiday, and so it's good to be back and to begin this new series of podcasts, or new year of podcasts. And as I know you're fully aware, we've got some really exciting, I think, podcasts coming up, and people that are going to be joining us and discussing really just what we're all looking forward to in 2024. We keep talking about digital transformation, energy transformation, and it's happening before our eyes. We're seeing things change and transform, and it's an exciting time to be in the industry. And you're right. I think at the beginning of the year, we always make these lofty resolutions and visions of what we want to see in 2024. And no different here at enxchange, we're doing that. We've had a lot of really exciting meetings here. One celebrating the holidays and Christmas and the reason for the season, and now we're looking into 2024 and as a group kind of planning for great things. And one of the things I love, Sandy, about our team and you're such a central part of that is we have such a positive group. We've got a group that's always looking in the front and what's in front of us. So just really excited about what is coming up in 2024.
I agree. So with that said, you being the CEO, you are a leader. You're a student. Honestly, you're an avid reader. You're always looking for ways to help develop the team, and you do have a CEO outlook, and you're going to share that with us today, right?
Yeah, just briefly, Sandy, again, these are not necessarily my insights, but I'm like you. As you said, I think learning has always been at the core of what makes good companies, great companies for that matter. And I think that in a time of transformation, it is even heightened. And I think we have a learning organization. I think our clients depend on us to learn and to be, seeing where the puck is going. And to skate to that puck, if you will. And so, yeah, we really, here recently we've talked about really there's many things that are happening that we could talk about, but, really we talked about 5 major kind of outlooks, impacts, trends, drivers, whatever you want to call them, that we've talked about. And so, I'll briefly mention those. And of course, I don't think our audience will be surprised that, we, like other great companies, I believe, start with, talent, acquisition and talent retention and culture. And, as we've met, Sandy, over the last several months, it's such an exciting time to get together with the entire team, over the holidays and as we begin to plan. And I'm constantly reminded just how outstanding of a team we have. Just great talent, great skills. We recently added another outstanding individual in Jennifer Goss. We're going to have her on the podcast coming up. R.B. Sloan, many know that he's been a part of our team. He's even becoming a core part of NX. And we're going to be continually throughout this year, I hope, highlighting current employees and highlighting employees that we're bringing on, and even, Sandy, our ecosystem. I think NX is more than just the talent that we have internally, but we've got a tremendous ecosystem of people that really are part of NX and at the core of NX. But one of the things that I think is so critical in this time is building institutional capabilities. And you don't do that by just technology; you do it by people. One of the things that it's always been about, and it will always be about for us, is people and how we build a culture where people understand that, their value is really the sum value of our company. And so that's number one, and I could go on and on and on about number one and what that means, but I really do believe in a world of digitalization, decentralization, decarbonization, it is highly important that is, the number one thing that we address and we continue to push forward is talent acquisition and retention in that regard. Secondly, Sandy, I think it's interesting, money flows where attention goes, and I believe that the capital markets and how capital flows is going to be such a significant part of any company, and I think in a transformational time, it's kind of figuring out again how the capital planning and capital markets go. In other words, really helping our clients understand how investments can truly get a return in a transformational market. And so we're doing a lot of work on that, and that really leads to the third outlook or the third trend. That's just the new business construct. I think it's fascinating how we continue to talk about microgrids and virtual power plants and DERMS, and those are new business constructs that's happening in the market that literally are requiring new regulatory frameworks.
Yeah.
And so again, as a company, we're constantly thinking about, how can technology, how can our digital, framework, the digital twin, all the things we talk about, truly, align with capital markets, align with the new business construct. And really, these are in some ways, at least in my mind, things that kind of, are required in almost a sequential order. You got to have talent. Got to understand how the capital markets, capital planning works. Got to understand the business construct, which encompasses much of the regulatory market. And then, really number four for us, and I think we see it holistically across this market, is what we call interconnections and interoperability. Now, how do we connect new types of energy sources? How do we do that in a way that's interoperable? And those two big I's we're going to be talking a lot about throughout this year, because as we interconnect new decentralized resources, as we try to create a full interoperable solution where we optimize as a whole, there's some real challenges. When you think about interoperability and interconnections, your mind goes to, one of the number one things people expect is when they turn that light switch on, that the lights come on. So, reliability, resiliency, how we use that for demand flexibility and really begin to optimize existing infrastructure. And again, as you can see, Sandy, I could go on and on each one of these, so I won't. And also, I'll mention the fifth. And the fifth for us is, just really kind of the true north, I believe, where the industry is going. And that, you can call that the Internet of Energy. You can call it energy as a service. You can call it transactive energy. But, one of the things, Sandy, being in the cooperative market for 35 plus years, we always talk about members and we always talk about being customer centric. I think one of the most exciting things for utilities in general is being new pioneers in helping consumers become participants in the energy equation. Because, we're better together, always have been, and if we can empower consumers, empower them to better manage and participate in the energy. And so words like prosumer, that means something. And I think for us, it really is something that we're driving to, is how do we empower people? How do we empower consumers? How do we help allow them to be participants in the energy equation? And so, those are 5 things that we talk about internally that kind of guide us and keep us thinking about strategically our company. I think we're in a world today where, it's not about playing checkers, it's about playing chess. It's understanding how strategy works in a new environment. Humpty Dumpty's kind of fallen off the wall, and we got to find ways to put Humpty Dumpty back on the wall. And I think there's opportunity to do that in a new, exciting way. So, very excited about 2024, seeing a lot of these things happen. I think we're in the midst of it, and we're going to continue to lean in.
I agree. Concur. Well, Happy New Year to you, David, and Happy New Year to our audience. We're really excited, obviously, about this year. We do have some amazing guests that are going to join us this year. We're hitting the road. We've got some conferences coming up in the first quarter. Stay tuned for more of that, more details there. We have a lot of fun surprises in store. So with that, we'll just say thank you so much for joining us today on this first episode of 2024, and we hope that you continue to tune in. We would love to hear from you, participate, and come be a guest. You know where I am, LinkedIn. Thanks so much. We'll see you next week.
Thank you, Sandy. Bye now.